The one positive thing about spending so much time on the sidelines, if you will, with being sick in the last month, I've had a lot of time on my hands to think. There's nothing else I can freaking do. The time that I would usually spend training and going to work, doing the normal stuff, I'm just on the freaking couch and I can't watch television. Gets to a point where I can't watch anything anymore, and even video games gets, annoying when you get a headache and you're not feeling great. So you just sleep and think and sleep some more. And I've been questioning everything. I've been thinking about lifting and thinking about why I'm getting sick, thinking about everything. Down to the damn shoes that I'm wearing. I know that's the extent of my thought process. It occurred to me. That's why you guys are seeing me wearing the freaking Jordans. It occurred to me. These freaking minimalistic shoes that I got hooked on about 2 years ago, they're well and good. But is it good to be wearing absolutely nothing in the middle of winter? In a garage that is frozen on concrete. There's nothing between you and that concrete. And I'd sit there for freaking hours on end, training, every week, and my feet will be cold. My feet are cold. I'm standing on concrete. So in between sets, I'd train, get warm, and sit down. My feet are still on the ground. It occurred to me, that's probably not a good idea to be, having cold feet entirely. Now, some of you guys might be like, the hell are you talking about, dude? Well, if you come from the eastern part of the world, and I don't think this is very well appreciated or known, but from a very early age in the East, I'm talking like Eastern Bloc, Russia, Yugoslavia, Bulgaria, Romania, we don't do a few things. Number one, we never go outside with wet hair. We never leave a draft in the house. This is called promaya, which is essentially a draft through the house. Now, a draft in winter in, let's say, Croatia, Serbia, they say that can get you really, really unwell. Cold air on a resting body overnight can wreak havoc. Some people say that you can get pneumonias, right? Now, scientifically speaking, pneumonia doesn't fly in the air. And so a lot of the medical professionals that I mentioned this to over the years are like, Ivan, what the hell, man? This is some silly stories from people that have no education. But then some people say that what happens is that cold air gets you cold, right? And when you're sleeping, you are not consciously thinking about if you're cold or warm. And so that cold air can be a stressor on your body because your core body temperature starts to drop. And when you are spending too long of a period of time being too cold, that increases cortisol level. That cortisol level increase can reduce your immunity, as we very, very well know. Too much training can increase your cortisol, too much drugs, too much alcohol, too much whatever. All these negative things can increase your cortisol level and effectively reduce your immunity because of it. It's a stressor. So when we think about promaya being a stressor, that way, I guess it can make sense. And as we all know, we are carrying millions of bacteria and viruses in our body, which are opportunistic. Soon as there is a drop in the defense on that castle of ours, soon as the guards go to sleep or a number of them drop dead, i.e. the immune system, boom, they attack from all freaking flanks, and then you have an infection or a pneumonia. So it's not that these freaking pneumonia particles are rushing through the air. It's a secondary effect. So the cold air is a stressor that weakens the immune system, and then the stuff which is already inhabiting us, it causes a revolt, let's say, like the viruses and things that we are lined with, constantly being exposed. Our mouth is apparently carrying more bacteria than a freaking anus. I mean, that's crazy to think about, but that's the truth. So we're covered in bugs, and as soon as there is a drop of immunity, bang. So the reason I'm saying all of this is like if you're constantly cold, especially when you're supposed to be hot in training, it could be an effect. And so I thought to myself, you know what? Those shoes are great, but that's a freaking summer shoe. It's not a winter shoe. I don't even have flooring on my damn concrete. And I'm walking around with these barefoot shoes. Barefoot shoes. God damn, man, why don't you go bare feet on concrete year round and see what happens, man. On freaking concrete, that's like 5 degrees, 3 degrees, whatever it is when I'm training. And you know the concrete is cooler. It sucks temperature. Anyway, I might be freaking thinking over too much, but I'm thinking about all sorts of things. That's just one thing that I thought I'd pop up and talk about, because that's kind of the foremost in my mind. Guys, I'm going to try to do something later on tonight. I don't know if you guys care about this or not. I'm going to try to play Skyrim and chill with you guys. I don't know if I can make this work. My brother mentioned something to me the other day about streaming and chilling out with you guys while streaming something other than weightlifting. So I thought, you know what? I had my missus buy a camera. I was really surprised to find out that it wasn't that expensive. It's like $80 or something like that to buy the PlayStation 5 camera. So I'm going to try and rig all this thing up. I've got a microphone, like a proper standing freaking microphone that I got gifted a few years ago by one of the subscribers. Hyun Woo, if I recall his name. I think he might be from Canada or America. I do apologize, Hyun. If you're listening to this, Hyun, man, thank you so much for the gift, man. Like, it's kind of been sitting on the sidelines for a little while now, but I'm going to try and use it now. Let's see if I can rig it up. I'm going to do it in my living room in front of the freaking TV. I'm going to do something, but I'm going to try and play Skyrim and talk weightlifting and mess around with you guys if you want to tune in for that a little later on. Let's see if I can get it work. If I can't, then I guess it won't happen, but I'm not the most tech-savvy person in the world, but let me try and see if I can pull it off. Appreciate you guys. Peace out.